hard today when he does get the ball, and he's going to take it for over the court, and to your point.
Hello from the Tappan Street Pool at Brookline High School. This is Brookline Warriors Athletics on BATV, and today it's boys swimming and diving action as the St. John's Pioneers make the trip in from Shrewsbury to take on the Brookline Warriors. Hello everybody, I'm Brad Kasnett, and today we have two swimming and diving teams that are off to great starts to the season. St. John's comes in 1-0. The Warriors are 2-0 with wins over a couple other Catholic Conference schools in Catholic Memorial and BC High. They'll be looking to continue their winning ways today, as will St. John's, who opened the season with a win over fellow Bay State Conference school, Wellesley. Only one team will keep that perfect record intact after today, though, so we'll have all the action coming right up here on BATV. So we're set to get underway with the 200-yard medley relay, the first event of the day. And this meet is underway. The Warriors today will be in the even-numbered lanes 2, 4, and 6. The Pioneers in the odd-numbered lanes 1, 3, and 5. Lane 1 at the top of your screen, down to lane 6 at the bottom of your screen. This first leg, lane 1 is Kevin Harrington, lane 2 Yubo Zhang, lane 3 Killian Dixon, lane 4 Nate Katz, lane 5 Jason Ninnis, and lane 6 Josh Schumann. And it looks like Ninnis in lane 5 for the Pioneers with the lead after the first leg. That was the backstroke. Next up here is the breaststroke. And again, to run down the lanes from top to bottom on your screen, Taehyun Kim, Harrison Ross, Richie Smith, Kenny Keon, Declan Lyons, and Joe Ganella. Now it looks like the Pioneers team in lane 3 has pulled ahead. Smith in the lead and his teammate Lyons in second. Keon of Brookline in third place in lane 4. Third leg into the pool for the butterfly. Top to bottom on your screen will be Ben Church, Mike Levin, Millard Lawson, Franklin Yo, Ethan Lawson, and Mike Nikulin. And Millard Lawson in the third lane, pulling away for St. John's. Neck and neck, though, for second place. Franklin Yo looks to have a slight lead on Ethan Lawson. Anchor leg, the freestyle. Nate Pitteritz in lane 1, Kia Shabazi lane 2, Alex Sullivan lane 3, Ben Pollock lane 4, Jack Dahlmeyer lane 5, and Luciano Morandi Batalha in lane 6. Sullivan in the lead for the Pioneers. Touches first, and the Pioneers win this race. Pollock in second to touch for the Warriors, and Dahlmeyer right behind him for the Pioneers. Warriors coming in 4th place and 5th place. And the Pioneers rounding it out. So the St. John's team of Killian Dixon, Richie Smith, Millard Lawson, and Alex Sullivan win the 200 medley relay with a time of 1 minute 46.76 seconds. Warriors in 2nd place, Katz, Keon Yo, and Pollock. And the 3rd place team of Ninnis, Lyons, Lawson, and Dahlmeyer for the Pioneers, all posting qualifying times good for the state tournament. And it's the Pioneers that get the win in that first event. Relay events are scored 8 points for the 1st place team, as far as in terms of adding up for the team score in this dual meet. In relays, it's 8 points for 1st, 4 points for 2nd, 2 points for 3rd. So that means that the Pioneers with a 10-4 lead after that first event. Now it's the 200-yard freestyle. Lane 1 is Andre Porokopian of St. John's. Lane 2, Ryan Kilday of Brookline. Lane 3, Peter Del Mastro of St. John's. Lane 4, Sammy Russell of Brookline. Lane 5, Jason Ninnis of St. John's. And lane 6, Joe Shirici of Brookline. Again, it's St. John's going 1-2 right now with Del Mastro and Ninnis in the lead. As they turn for home, it's Del Mastro in the lead, Ninnis in second, Russell in third. Halfway through the race now. It's Kilday up in lane 2 in 4th place and Shirici in 5th place. And Del Mastro widening his lead, though it's getting tight for second between Ninnis and Russell. Ninnis still almost a full body length lead though. In individual events, the scoring is 6 points for 1st place, 4 points for 2nd, 3 for 3rd, 2 for 4th, and 1 for 5th. So it's not just the winner of the race that matters. The placements right down to the end come into play in this dual meet scoring. Del Mastro, huge lead, finishes first in 1 minute 50.26 seconds. Ninnis is going to touch second in 1:57.52. Russell is third, 1:59.99. And 4th place will be Shirici of Brookline, 2:11.55 the time. Kilday of Brookline in 5th place with a time of 2:15.63. Del Mastro with a state qualifying time and Ninnis a sectional qualifying time in that race as Porokopian rounds it out for the Pioneers. But Peter Del Mastro wins the 200-yard freestyle for St. John's. Taking the marks now for the 200-yard individual medley. Lane 1 is open in this event. Ben Weinstein of Brookline in lane 2, Richie Smith of St. John's in lane 3, Mike Levin of Brookline in lane 4, Declan Lyons of St. John's in lane 5, and Adam Schwartz of Brookline in lane 6. 50 yards of each stroke, beginning with the butterfly as Smith in the lead after the first leg. He's followed by Weinstein. Sorry, it's Levin in second, then Weinstein, then Lyons. Now on to the backstroke. Smith opening up a lead. Levin in second, with Lyons coming on strong in lane 5. Now on to the breaststroke. It's still Smith of St. John's out in front, but the race is tightening up for second place. Levin still has an edge, but Lyons closing neck and neck at the turn between Levin and Lyons for second place. And they are stroke for stroke in the last 25 of the breaststroke. Now it looks like Lyons pulling ahead a little bit. Smith has already made the turn and begun the freestyle. At that last split, Lyons touching just 0.2 of a second ahead of Levin. Smith in the lead, already made the turn for home. Lyons in second, looks to be just ahead of Levin. Smith wins the race, 2 minutes, 3.01 seconds. And Lyons now pulling away for second. So Smith wins for St. John's, Lyons second for St. John's, Levin of Brookline in third. Fourth place goes to Weinstein of Brookline, and Schwartz of Brookline closes it out. Winning time, 2 minutes, 3.01 seconds for Richie Smith of St. John's. And that is a state qualifying time, as is the second place time of 2:11.79 posted by Declan Lyons. .50-yard freestyle up next. And they're off. The shortest race of the day. Lane 1, Jack Dahlmeyer of St. John's. Lane 2, Harrison Ross of Brookline. Lane 3, Millard Lawson of St. John's. Lane 4, Mede Bayukas-Turk of Brookline. Lane 5, Alex Sullivan of St. John's. Lane 6, Jack Miller of Brookline. Lawson out in front, Sullivan right behind him. It's going to be close to the finish. It looks like it was Lawson, then Sullivan. I'm sorry, yes, Lawson, then Sullivan, then Bayukas-Turk in third. Millard Lawson wins it for St. John's. Alex Sullivan of St. John's in second. Mede Bayukas-Turk of Brookline in third. Brookline's Harrison Ross finished fourth, and St. John's Jack Dahlmeyer finished fifth. 23.90, the winning time for Lawson. We will have a second heat in the 50-yard freestyle. And they're off. This heat non-scoring in the dual meet. So it gives us a chance to tell you the score as it stands after those first 4 events. St. John's with a 41-21 lead over Brookline. And it's Nate Petrowitz in lane 5, winning that heat for St. John's in 25.98 seconds. Ben Schertz of St. John's in second, 27.06 seconds. Luciano Morandi Batalha, the Warriors' top finisher, down in lane 6, finishing in third place with a time of 27.29. On to the diving competition. First up is Ollie Costello of Brookline. Five and a half, 6 and 6, the scores for Costello.
Nolan's first time will be a 2:02.8 straight. Degree of difficulty 1.7.
And now Nolan Ryan of St. John's. 4.5, a 5, and a 6. The scores for Ryan.
Nicholas's first dive will be a 201A backside straight. Degree of difficulty 1.7.
Now Nick Schlossman of Brookline. Four, 4, and 4.5 for Schlossman. Next up is Patch Ryan for St. John's. Four and a half, 4, and 4.5.
JD's first dive will be a 201B backside height. Degree of difficulty 1.6.
This is J.D. Nurm of Brookline, who set a school record in the 6 dives in the last meet. 6.5, 6.5, and 6.
Oliver's first dive is a 201. Sorry, Oliver's second dive is a 201A backside straight. Degree of difficulty.
Costello
I'm sorry. Oliver's second dive is a 204.
up next.
Back to somersault.
Back to somersault.
Tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2.
There's a good deal of math involved in the diving competition, so we'll try to keep you updated. Nurm in the lead after that first round of dives with a 30.4.
Score 6, 5.5.
5.5, 6, and 6 for Costello on that dive.
Nolan's second dive is a 101C tuck. Degree of difficulty 1.2. Scores 5, 4.5, 4.5.
4.5, 4.5, 5 for Nolan Ryan on his second dive. And next up is Brookline's Nick Schlossman.
Nick's second dive is a 202A back 1 somersault. Straight position. Degree of difficulty 1.7.
Schlossman's last dive, the totals was 21.25. 4.5, 4, and 5 Patch Ryan of St. John's. Patch Ryan had a score of 22.1 on his first dive. This dive actually a slightly easier degree of difficulty. 4.5, 3.5, 2.5 for Patch Ryan there. Now J.D. Nurum of Brookline scored a 30.4 on his first dive. Back 1.5 somersault tuck position coming from Nurum. Five and a half, 6.5, 6.5 on that dive for Nurum. So now Brookline's Ollie Costello up next. Costello's last dive was the highest scoring dive so far and the most difficult, a 38.5 in his last dive. Five, 5.5, 5.5 the scores for Costello. Now Nolan Ryan of St. John's. His most difficult dive so far. Already scored a 26.35 on the first dive and a 16.8 on the second dive. A little bit of confusion here over what the dive here is going to be and what the proper degree of difficulty is. The way scores are calculated, you take the 3 scores you hear, multiply it by the degree of difficulty on that particular dive. And there's your total. So this one with a 1.4 degree of difficulty coming. Fives across the board for a total score of 21 on that dive. Now Nick Schlossman, a 1.6 degree of difficulty on this dive coming up. Schlossman's first 2 dives gave him scores of 21.25 and 22.95. 4s across the board here. Total score of 19.2. Difficult dive coming here from Patch Ryan, 2.2 degree of difficulty. Ryan's first 2 dives scored him a 22.10 and a 16.80. 6, 6, 6.5. That'll be a big scoring dive. 40.7, the total score. Now, J.D. Nurm of Brookline, a 1.7 degree of difficulty coming here. Nurm scored over 30 on each of his first two dives. 6.5, 6.5, 7. Total score there of 34 even. Now Costello. 1.5 degree of difficulty on his fourth dive. Five and a half, 6, 5.5.
Nolan's fourth dive will be a 520, 5221D front. Difficulty 1.7. Free, not front.
1.7 degree of difficulty on the next dive for Nolan Ryan.
Dive again. 5221D free. Difficulty 1.7.
Ryan's best scoring dive so far was 26.35 on his first dive. And the judges have gone over to the scorers table, a little bit of discussion about this. We'll see what the result is. So no score on that dive. Schlossman up again for Brookline. .4 degree of difficulty on this dive. We're into the fourth round here, but a quick update on the scores after the third round. Nurm in the lead, 101.4. Costello in second at 93.85. 5.5, 5.5, 6 the scores for Ryan there. Now Patch Ryan. This dive has a 1.7 degree of difficulty. Patch Ryan in third place after the first 3 dives. A 5, a 5, and a 6.5. Total score of 28.05 on that dive. Now Nurum, JD Nurum. 1.5 degree of difficulty on this upcoming dive. Six and a half, and 7. I'll give him a score of 30. On to the 5th round. 1.7 the degree of difficulty on Costello's next dive. Five and a half, the score is there. Total score 27.20. 1.9 degree of difficulty, most difficult dive so far for Nolan Ryan of St. John's. Five, 4.5 there. $27.55 the total score. 1.6 degree of difficulty for this upcoming dive by Brookline's Nick Schlossman. Schlossman in 4th after the first 4 dives. Nurum still in the lead, Costello in 2nd. Patch Ryan in 3rd. Five and a half, 4.5, the score is there. .6 degree of difficulty on this upcoming dive for Patch Ryan. Four and a half, 5. 22.4, the final total there. Now comes Nurum's most difficult dive so far, 2.4 degree of difficulty. Six and a half for Nurum there. On to the final round. 1.7 degree of difficulty for Costello's final dive. Nurum there posted highest score of the day so far with a 44.4 on that last dive. 5.5, 5.5, 6.
Nolan's last dive of the evening will be a 103 B height, degree of difficulty 1.7.
5, 4, and 5 for Nolan Ryan.
Last dive of the evening will be a flat 122D, forward, 1 somersault, 1 twist, free. Degree of difficulty 1.9.
1.9 degree of difficulty on Nick Schlossman's final dive. Three and a half, 4.5, 4.
Patch's last dive of the evening will be a 5221D, free. Degree of difficulty 1.7.
1.7 degree of difficulty on Patch Ryan's final dive, upcoming for St. John's. A 3, a 5, and a 5.5. The scores for Patch Ryan.
John Davis, last dive, will be a 5.260, forward, 1 somersault, 3 twist, free. Degree of difficulty 2.8.
Saving the best for last, most difficult dive of the night will be coming here from J.D. Nurum. He's already clear to win this diving competition. 5.5, 5.5, 4. His scores. And as the final scores are calculated, we move on now to the 100-yard butterfly. As the swimmers take their marks. And they're off. The unofficial meet score, by the way, after the diving competition, I have St. John's leading Brookline 45-33. On to the 100 fly. Lane 1 is open. Lane 2 is Brookline's Franklin Yo. Lane 3, St. John's Millard Lawson. Lane 4, Brookline's Mete Bucusturk. Lane 5, St. John's Ethan Lawson. Lane 6, Brookline's Mateo Caracciolo King. Yo won this race in the last meet against Boston College High School, but it's Lawson of St. John's in the lead here, with Yo in second and Bucusturk in third. Final length of the pool, Lawson got almost a full body length of the lead, and Yo looking to hold off his teammate Bucusturk for second. It is Lawson that wins it. Yo in second, Bucusturk in third, Caracciolo King in fourth, and Lawson in fifth. So Millard Lawson wins it for St. John's in a time of 55.41. Franklin Yo second for Brookline in 57.71. And Mete Bucusturk in third with a time of 58.06. 52.26. Those times all state meet qualifiers for those top three. Next up is the 100-yard freestyle. And they're off. Updating you on the meet score. Unofficially, I had the two teams tied at 52 points. As we begin the 100 free, lane 1 is St. John's Jack Dahlmeyer, lane 2, Brookline Sammy Russell, lane 3, St. John's Peter Del Mastro, lane 4 is Brookline's Ben Pollock, lane 5 is St. John's Alex Sullivan, and lane 6, Brookline's Ian Noyen. Del Mastro in the lead. And it's looking like Russell there in second place in lane 2, although it's tight with Sullivan down in lane 5. Into the finish, Del Mastro wins it. Second place will be Russell. Sullivan touches third. Pollock is fourth. Noyen is fifth. Dahlmeyer in sixth. So Peter Del Mastro wins the 100-yard freestyle for the Pioneers with a time of 50.46. Sammy Russell of Brookline in second place with a time of 52.89. Del Mastro, that's a state qualifying time. Russell, a sectional qualifying time. Next up is the 500-yard freestyle, the longest event of the day. "20 laps of the pool." And you see the teams have counters at the right side of the pool so that they know how many laps into this long race they are. In lane 2, we have Brookline's Ben Weinstein. As you see, lane 1 is open. Lane 3 is St. John's Jason Ninnis. Lane 4, Brookline's Zach Russell. Lane 5, St. John's Killian Dixon. And lane 6, Brookline's Joe Sharitzi. After 3 lengths of the pool, Ninnis in the lead. And Ninnis maintaining the lead. 57.82 through that split, with Pollock of Brookline in second. Sammy Russell won this race in the last meet against BC High, but he's not swimming this one today after just doing the 100 free. Team scores in this dual meet. Unofficially, we have St. John's leading Brookline 61-49. With 4 more events after this 500 free. Del Mastro still out in front for the Pioneers. Pollock in second for the Warriors. Sullivan in third for the Pioneers. Throughout this meet, the Pioneers have won nearly every event. Brookline only winning on the diving boards, but Brookline's depth has really shown through. And that's why they have kept it close. Del Mastro opening up a lead as we get to the halfway point. Del Mastro with about a 3-second lead on Pollock. Sullivan in behind him a little under 2 seconds later. Peter Del Mastro of the Pioneers still out in front. Pollock in second, Sullivan in third. Fourth place is close. It looks like Dahlmeyer has an edge on Nguyen. See at this split here. It was I'm sorry, I've been giving you the wrong names in this race for a little while. Just to be clear, it's Weinstein in lane 2, Ninnis in 3, Russell in 4, Dixon in 5, and Chirizi in 6. Got confused there, I was looking at the last race. It's Ninnis, the one with the big lead here. Russell in second. Dixon in third. And now Weinstein looks to be opening up a bit of a lead on that fourth place spot over Chirizi, his teammate. Warriors in the even lanes. Lane 1's at the top of your screen. Warriors are in 2, 4, and 6 throughout this entire meet. 17 lengths down, 3 to go. Ninnis in front. Russell still in second. Dixon in third. And Weinstein now actually making a move for third place as he's gaining on Dixon. We'll see if he's able to make up enough ground. Ninnis in the lead, set to make the turn for the final length of the pool. Russell in second for Brookline. And now it is very tight for third between Dixon and Weinstein. Still looks like Dixon has just a bit of an edge as Ninnis comes in for the win in 5:09.04. Russell in second. Third place will be Weinstein. Makes up the ground, ends up in third place by 0.06 of a second. Chirizi in fifth. So Jason Ninnis winning the 500-yard freestyle, 5 minutes, 9.04 seconds. Zach Russell of Brookline in second. Ben Weinstein of Brookline just captures third place over Killian Dixon of St. John's. Joe Chirizi of Brookline in fifth place. Next up, the 200-yard freestyle relay. Up and back in freestyle, 4x50. Swimming this first leg from top to bottom, Kevin Harrington, Harrison Ross, Richie Smith, Kenny Keon, Ethan Lawson, and Guy Talmore. It's Smith of St. John's in the lead right now, with Keon of Brookline in second. Second leg in the pool. Again, top to bottom, we have Nolan Gauthier, Mike Levin, Alex Sullivan, Adam Schwartz, Ben Church, and Alex Lindstrom-Vatrin, the swimmers that we expect to go. Sullivan still holding on to that lead for St. John's. Now it's Levin of Brookline's team up in lane 2 that's coming in second, with Schwartz in third. Third leg, top to bottom, Tim Kelly, Kia Shabatzi, Millard Lawson, Mete Bukasturk, Jack Dahlmeyer, and Jack Miller. Lawson maintaining the lead for that lane 3 team for St. John's, but Brookline running second and third. Now Bukasturk group in lane 4 and second, Shabatzi up in lane 2, third. Anchor leg, top to bottom, Colin O'Connor, Jared Plazania, Peter Del Mastro, Ben Pollock, Nate Petrovich, and Mike Nikulin, And Del Mastro trying to bring it home for the Pioneers out in front. Del Mastro will come in to win this one for St. John's. In second, Ben Pollock touches for Brookline. Jared Plazania finishes up in third, also for Brookline. St. John's finishing fourth. Brookline sixth. And St. John's in sixth place. So Richie Smith, Alex Sullivan, Millard Lawson, and Peter Del Mastro, the winning team for St. John's in a time of 1 minute 39.76 seconds. We have now a second heat in the 200-yard freestyle relay. It's all Warriors in this one, swimming in lanes 2, 4, and 6. This is a non-scoring heat. Up in lane 2 is Alan Duvall. Lane 4 is Sam Whiting. And lane 6, Josh Lepson in this opening leg. The team scores unofficially once again after, well, with 3 events remaining. We've got St. John's at 77, Brookline at 63. The group up in lane 2 in the lead, that was Jaime Serrato Marks on the second leg. And now Noah Mark swimming the third leg for the Warriors. Oliver Sweet ready to go on the anchor leg. And they'll see what kind of time they can put up here. Also in this anchor leg, it's Gabe Minnenberg in lane 4. And Ivan Mullen in lane 6. As Sweet touches. Time of 1:37.92. In this race, it's Ethan Lawson of St. John's in lane 1, Ryan Kilday of Brookline in lane 2, Richie Smith of St. John's in lane 3, Nate Katz of Brookline in lane 4, Killian Dixon of Brookline in lane, Killian Dixon of St. John's in lane 5, and Yubo Zhang of Brookline in lane 6. Smith out to a healthy lead, although Katz and Dixon neck and neck for second place. At that last split, it was Katz touching less than 1/100 of a second, or less than 1/10 of a second ahead for second place. Final lap. Smith in the lead. Katz trying to pull away for second. Katz won this race in the last meet against BC High, but it's Richie Smith of St. John's who will take it today. Katz in second. Dixon in third. 4th place. Tight, but it'll go to Lawson up in lane 1 of St. John's. And Kilday in 5th. So Richie Smith wins the 100-yard backstroke for the Pioneers with a time of 56.77 seconds. That is the state qualifying time. Nate Katz, his 2nd place time of 1 minute, even .44. That's a sectional qualifying time. But Smith takes the 100 back for the Pioneers. The penultimate event of the day, the 100-yard breaststroke. Lane 1 is Porter Magnuson of the Pioneers. Lane 2, Harrison Ross of the Warriors. Lane 3, Declan Lyons of the Pioneers. Lane 4, Kenny Keon of the Warriors. Lane 5, Taeyeon Kim of the Pioneers. Lane 6, Joe Ganella of the Warriors. Lyons has a slim lead over Keon, with Ross in 3rd and Ganella in 4th. At the turn, it is indeed Lyons in the lead, but the Warriors taking up spots 2, 3, and 4. So again, the Warriors' depth showing through. By my count, the Pioneers have a 20-point lead in the meet with just this and the 400 free relay remaining. Keon closing in on Lyons. Lyons still has about half a body length lead and now looks to be pulling into the finish. It is Lyons that takes it. Less than a second ahead of Keon. Ross in 3rd. Ganella in 4th. And Magnuson in 5th. So Declan Lyons wins the 100-yard breaststroke for the Pioneers, a time of 1 minute, 10.68 seconds. But the Warriors finish 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We will have a second heat in the 100-yard breaststroke. Lane 1 here is St. John's Mike Henry. Lane 2, Brookline's Jaime Serrato Marks. Lane 3, Gianfranco Cesaro of St. John's. Lane 4, Ian Quillen of Brookline. Lane 5, Andre Porokopian of St. John's. Lane 6, Josh Lepson of Brookline. Again, this second heat not part of the dual meet scoring. In that last event, the 100-yard breast should clinch this meet for the Pioneers. Two Warriors neck and neck. It's Serrato Marks with about a 0.2 of a second lead on Quillen at that split. Serrato Marks in 2, Quillen in 4. Stroke for stroke. They come into the final turn. Serrato Marks looks like he has a slight lead. But this one is going to come right down to the wire. Now it looks like Quillen might be pulling ahead. At the touch, it is Quillen who touches first, less than a 1/10 of a second ahead of Serrato Marks. Quillen's winning time, 1 minute, 24.39 seconds. Cesaro in 3rd, Lepson in 4th. And Henry touching 5th. The final race of the day, the 400-yard freestyle relay. Swimmers are underway. And out of the gate, it is St. John's looking neck and neck. That's Peter Del Mastro in lane 3 for St. John's, Zach Russell in 4 for Brookline. And Mike Levin up in lane 2, looking to be in 3rd. Each swimmer goes 4 lengths of the pool. Del Mastro starting to pull away. As St. John's trying to make it a clean sweep of the swimming events here today. Brookline did win the diving competition, but so far St. John's has finished first in every race in the pool. As the second leg's in now, Jason Ninnis in lane 3. Big lead for St. John's. Warriors running 2nd and 3rd. Sammy Russell in lane 4. Adam Schwartz in lane 2. It's Russell in 2 that's in 2nd right now over Schwartz in lane 2. But Ninnis has a lead of about half the length of the pool as he hands off to Killian Dixon, swimming the 3rd leg for the Pioneers in lane 3. Mete Buyukasturk in the 3rd leg in lane 4. Franklin Yo in lane 2, as the Warriors still running 2nd and 3rd. Buyukasturk has about a 2-second lead on his teammate Yo. And Dixon, the leader, will hand off to the final leg. Declan Lyons will anchor for the Pioneers in lane 3. Ben Pollock in lane 4 for the Warriors, and Ben Weinstein now up in lane 2 for the Warriors. If Lyons can hold on again, it'll be a clean sweep of the swimming events for the Pioneers. But the fact that the Warriors have kept the team score so close is a real testament to their depth. Even though the Pioneers have been winning every race, the Warriors have been putting together 2nd and 3rd, 2nd and 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th finishes all day long. And here in the relay, looking once again as Lyons wins it for the Pioneers. It's Pollock that touches 2nd for the Warriors. Weinstein will touch 3rd for the Warriors. And the last 3 teams still in the pool. Joe Sharitzi in lane 6 for Brookline will finish 4th. St. John's up in lane 1 will be St. John still has another back and forth up in lane 1. The Pioneers down in lane 5 will finish 5th with Nate Petrowitz on the final leg. And up in lane 1, the last St. John swimmer closing out this meet. But it will be the Pioneers that come away with the victory here, capping it off with a relay win by Peter Del Mastro, Jason Ninnis, Killian Dixon, and Declan Lyons with a time of 3 minutes 35.74 seconds. That's a state qualifying time as well. we'll have the final tally for you, the official results. But it is the Pioneers that sweep the swimming events and are going to win this meet. The final tally today, St. John's wins it by a score of 102 to 84. St. John's winning every single race in the pool. The bright spot, though, for Brookline came once again on the diving boards. J.D. Nurm, who is the defending Central South Sectional champion, set a school record in the last meet, won again today, and it was Ollie Costello of Brookline finishing in second place. So the Warriors reigning supreme on the diving board, but the Pioneers getting it done in the pool. Once again, the final score, St. John's 102, Brookline 84. So that'll do it for us today. For our BATV producer, Charles Henneberry, I'm Brad Kasnet saying so long from the Tappan Street Pool.